it's Alison Mead, and this is day 2 of my accountability and my keto fitness journey. So today I just wanted to show you what my morning routine is what I do when I wake up in the morning. Now, as I've said to you in my first video, I do absolutely swear by Forever Living Aloe Vera. That's helped me with my health, my general fitness, and my absorption of vitamins and minerals and stuff. So I drink this every day, Forever Freedom. I've got rheumatoid arthritis. I've had it since I was 2, and for the first 40 years of my life I'd have regular flare-ups and things a couple of times a year, and I think I just needed to improve my diet and just eat better, and that's what's helped it. This is something that I've been taking for the last 7 years, and I'm not willing to give it up. So even though with keto I'm kind of doing some fasting, 16/8 fasting, I don't actually break my fast until nearer lunchtime, so 11, somewhere between 11 and 2, depending on how hungry I feel. This probably does break my fast a little bit, but if I don't have this first thing in the morning, I forget. And it's got to be workable for me, this life. It's got to be easy for me. So I have a glass somewhere between 60 and 100 mils every morning. I take Arctic Sea tablets. These are omega-3. I'm not really into wet oily fish, and I know that these omega-3 can be really good for your joints. So I take between 4 and 6 of these tablets every morning. Then this one is turmeric, and it also has eggshell membrane in it, and I take 3 of these every morning. Again, there's something that turmeric can again help with the joints. And as I'm a woman of a certain age, I'm 49, I'm 50 at Christmas, I also take botanical vitamins and mineral supplements. This one's called Electrolytes, but there's all sorts of different ones. And this has things that will help with my hormonal balances. Vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin C, B6, folic acid, iron and calcium. So again, I take 2 of those. And I'm terrible. I should be taking these a couple of times a day. I should be taking these a couple of times a day, but I've got a habit that when I get up in the morning, I have my aloe gel, I take my tablets, and that's it for the day. That's me sorted. So, bottoms up. When I was little and was first diagnosed with arthritis, when I was about 7, I had a really long stay in hospital, and now as an adult thinking back, I know that I was given ibuprofen, and that was the treatment that I was given, and they were the pink tablets that were really quite big, about the size of a Smartie. I could not swallow them at all. I basically used to pocket them and hide them. Anything, trying to take any tablet at all just made me gag. I couldn't do it. So in the end, I think when I was very little, my parents persuaded them to prescribe me with soluble aspirin, because then they could, obviously do them soluble. And when they first went to the doctors, they were like, well, you can't have soluble aspirin, it's too expensive, you can only have this sort of aspirin. And the nurses said to my mum, just push and say to the doctors, it's a choice of her not taking them or having these sorts of aspirin that are soluble so you can take them. So luckily the doctors listened and let my parents give me soluble aspirin. I was a 2-year-old toddler. There was no way I was taking anything else. When I got a little bit older and I needed something a bit stronger, they moved me, because you couldn't crush ibuprofen, the sort of tablets there were back then, these little pink hard ones. So I used to, in the end they changed me to naproxen, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and I was on those from the age of 7 because they could be crushed in a spoon. I remember them tasting absolutely gross, but that's what used to work for me. And as I got older, I tried all sorts of other drugs, and most of them affected my stomach, and I used to get an upset stomach, and I never used to know whether in an average year I'd maybe have 1 or 2 flare-ups a year, and I wouldn't need drugs in between times, but when I had the flare-up and the aches and pains, I had to take the naproxen. And I never used to know whether it was the naproxen that I was taking or it was a side effect of the flare-up, that I would always get an upset tummy and an irritable tummy when I was on the tablets. I'd always be careful to only eat them with food, but upset tummies were quite a big part of my life, and I used to get them all the time. And that is the main difference between me now and me then, is that I now virtually never get upset stomachs. I don't seem to have these biannual flare-ups, and this has only been just in the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 years, and it kind of ties into where I've changed my diet and my health's improved. So might not have had the flare-ups anyway, and I'm not saying any of these products, I'm not making any medical claims at all that any of these products might cure any disease or anything like that. All I can say is that in me, with my body, it just seems to work. So now if you're on the keto diet, you're obviously eating a lot less processed foods, and you're not eating fortified foods. So I'm not eating cereals, I'm not eating bread that might have extra potassium and magnesium and things like that in, and sodium, and you'll find that you are missing those products in your diet, and you need to find another way of getting them. And this is what on the Keto Fitness Club we call devil juice, or we call it's a drink with electrolytes in. It's replacing those fundamental minerals and things that you need. Also on the keto diet, you hold a lot less water. You know, when you first start on it, you lose a lot of weight. It's mostly losing the water weight, and it's the water that holds all these vitamins and minerals in your body. I'm not a scientist, but this is kind of my layman's terms, what I understand. So we have an electrolytes drink, and for the first year, I just couldn't drink this. I just couldn't take it. I hate vinegar. I can't stand vinegar. I've never liked it. But then one of the other members said that she actually takes it as a shot every morning. So when I've had my aloe vera gel, I'll do myself a shot of the electrolytes. But there it is. I need my little measuring thing. So apple cider vinegar, you can get this in places like Lidl and Aldi, or buy it online. You need to get the one that says with the mother, because that's like the sediment bit, and that's the bit that's got all the nutrients in. So I give it a little jiggle around, and I have 15 mils of this. When you first start, it takes a little bit getting used to, so you can build the quantities up. Then I do 15 mils of lemon juice. Now it would be nice, again, if you're being strict, freshly squeezed and all that, convenience. Again, I think this one's from Lidl or Aldi. So I do 15 mils of lemon juice. The next thing that I need is the potassium, and this also has magnesium in it. So you can either use cream of tartar or get any sort of low salt. So I got this one in Morrison's, and I just put a tiny bit in my hand and put that in. And the last thing is rock salt or pink Himalayan salt. I actually put a little bit of salt in my water to drink every day, and if you can taste it, you've got too much, and again, that keeps you right. Now this, to me, it's not nice. Doesn't taste nice at all. So from my protein, I've bought a few flavour drops. So 2 examples I've got here are cheesecake and butter biscuit. And you can also use these to flavour yogurts, to flavour custards. I put them in cakes, and it just adds a bit of variety in flavours. And in my devil juice, in my electrolytes, I put 5 drops. Now ideally you would take this twice a day, But as I struggle, I do have also, from my protein, I have Electrolyte Plus tablets. So what I tend to do, these wouldn't give you all your recommended dose that you need in the day. I think it gives about a third, but I might be wrong. So what I'll do is I'll try and have one devil juice every day, and a bit later on I'll have a couple of those electrolyte tablets. So the recipe in the recipe books, in the link that I share, actually says to put the devil juice in the water and sip that. And I tried it, I just couldn't do it. So I know this isn't perfect again, like I said, I'm not the ideal person with all this. I do what works for me, take all the advice and do what works for you. Devil juice. And then drink a good quantity of water, and then I do actually, because there's a little bit of salt not dissolved at the bottom. You'll find if you're getting, if you're feeling tired and you're feeling lethargic and you might be getting muscle cramps and things like that, first thing to try, rather than giving up, is try adding the electrolytes into your diet every day. The Forever Living stuff is my choice. That's what I want to do because that's what works for me and my condition. So if you're just doing keto and you don't have those other needs, then that's totally personal. That's up to you. But the electrolytes, that is something that anyone doing keto is going to need. So if you're struggling and you don't think it's working for you, before you give up, try that first. And that has made a big change as well in how I'm coping on the keto diet. So there you go, accountability. If I'm going to keep at my target weight and keep going, this is what I need to do every day, and this is what is keeping me going. And I hope just by sharing a little bit of my story that I might give you some ideas to help the keto diet work for you too. It's Alison Mead signing off.